Hello, everyone with Career Chronicles. My name is Stanley Chang. I'm a member of the Hawaii State Senate representing District 9, East Honolulu, and I chair the Committee on Housing. So most of my work revolves around the issue of housing here in Hawaii. The first question we have today, was this always what you wanted to do and why? Actually, I've wanted to be in public service for a very long time. Ever since I was a kid, I've thought about this opportunity. And my interest in public service actually goes back to my parents, who were immigrants from China. They got here with nothing. They were able to, my dad was able to become a professor and buy a house, and put my brother and me through school, give us all these great opportunities. But fast forward to when we graduate from high school, about 90% of my high school class went off to college on the mainland, and most have not come back. And today, if you're a young person and you want to get a good job and buy a home and raise a family, that's just not realistic anymore. That's the biggest reason why I wanted to get into public service generally. And so to be here and to be able to work on issues of housing is a dream I've had for a very long time. Our second question, what do you believe the purpose of our government is, and how do you fit into that? For me, the government's job is to guarantee a social compact with the people. And I believe that that social compact in America and in Hawaii is if you work hard, you should be able to have a good life. You should be able to have a home. You should be able to have medical care. You should be able to retire in comfort. You should be able to have education for your kids. You should be able to have leisure time to enjoy all the amazing natural gifts that we're given here in Hawaii. The problem is, though that social contract worked really well, I would say, since World War II in Hawaii, that hasn't been the case for at least a couple of decades now. And the largest element of that is because the housing shortage is out of control. Because we haven't kept up new housing construction, there is just not enough housing to go around. Housing costs here are now the highest in the country. It now takes over 20 years for the average person to save for the average down payment with the average wage. We have the highest rate of both parents working in the country. We have the highest rate of people working 2 or more jobs in the country. We have the highest rate of kids, getting up. As a state, we wake up the earliest out of all states in the country because I think a lot of people have to finish 2 shifts in just one day. That is the biggest impediment to the social contract. And that's why I think the social contract is broken right now in Hawaii. So my job is to try to end that housing shortage, to produce enough housing to meet demand, to ensure that everyone will be able to have a home, to afford a home, and to live a good life with their families, just as our parents and grandparents were able to do. All right, our third question here. What are the best and worst parts of your job? Well, the best part of the job, I can say, is the opportunity to make a difference. Because we do have a seat in the table here if you are in the state legislature. You can conduct hearings, you can meet with influential people from across every sector of the economy, of the government, nonprofits. You can write bills, some of them will actually pass. You can have funds appropriated from the state. There's a lot of really powerful tools you have at your disposal. And when you actually see something come to fruition, that's really rewarding. So one of the big bills that I've been advocating for at the state legislature, and even before that at the city level, was to establish a youth commission to give young people a voice in our government. And that actually ended up passing in 2018. We got the appropriations in last year's budget. Finally, an executive director was hired. And just last month, the very first meeting of the Hawaii State Youth Commission was convened. So I'm really thrilled with that. And I really think that they have the opportunity to move the needle on the toughest issues that Hawaii faces. The worst part of the job, though, is that all of these fantastic tools that we have at our disposal, they come with a lot of politics and with a lot of drama. People are constantly throwing up obstacles in the way. People are not necessarily interested in making change as much as they are as preserving the way things are now. People are going to knee jerk reject any type of idea that might be new just because they don't understand it. People don't make an effort to try to understand issues before they, you know, want to stop them. And the personal behind the scenes drama, I would say, in a job like the legislature is really intense. And I really regret that because we have so many opportunities here. We can really work together and make a positive change for our community. And all of the kind of behind the scenes insider stuff that goes on, just it doesn't help anybody. And at the end of the day, our problems aren't solved. And at the end of the day, we are facing, these huge population exoduses because of our housing shortage and now because of the economic crisis that's been triggered by the pandemic. So those frustrations are very real. I think they're probably common to most people who work in big institutions or governments like the state of Hawaii. And I think on balance, though, as long as you keep your eye on the ball, as long as you try to do a good job and try to take the high road and behave with integrity, that's all we can do. And that's what we're hoping for to move the needle so that our constituents can enjoy better lives and have their problems solved. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure to talk story with all of you today, and feel free anytime to reach out to me. My email is senchang, senchang, at capital with an O, .hawaii.gov. And you can also call us at any time at 808 586 8420. Thank you so much.